A long time ago, in a very drastic and depressing year of 2018, Kingdom Come Deliverance was the shining light through all of it. And there was another beacon. After the game had been completed, after everyone had praised how amazing it was and how immersive it was in Bohemian 1403, it needed something else. It needed something to carry it on, and normally that has been mods. And whilst we had mods coming out like a lightsaber mod, some unlimited saving mods and all that sort of thing, there wasn't really anything overhauling it. Until the guys from Attila, who made the Game of Thrones mod, Seven Kingdoms, decided that they would stop that. They've done that. Let's go into Kingdom Come Deliverance and make Seven Kingdoms for this medieval RPG. It started in development. I made a video on it looking into some of the things that we can expect to see in it. Some of the textures of the Stark armor, the Lannister armor, the weapons, the clothing. How all of this can be utilized in Kingdom Come Deliverance new mechanics with multiple layers of clothing being used and everything that is going to culminate into this Seven Kingdoms mod. But it went away. You see, Kingdom Come Deliverance wasn't the easiest to mod. It wasn't the best to mod because there were no modding tools. There wasn't really anything there to use until now. Recently, as I've said, Kingdom Come Deliverance has introduced modding tools, so modders are able to get into the game itself. There's guides and tutorials on how to use it. If you want to go and see it fully, go and check out my last video. But this means, and I thought it might do, as I mentioned in my previous video, that these guys could come back. And yes, they did. The Seven Kingdoms Game of Thrones mod is back in production after a long time being postponed. They completely stopped working on it as it probably wasn't the easiest to do in a game that didn't have modding tools, but now we have it, we are back. So, they released a tweet on November the 5th saying, "Big announcement. With the release of modding tools for Kingdom Come Deliverance by Warhorse Studios, development on the first-person open-world Game of Thrones Total Conversion will resume. The project began, but was postponed in early 2018. The mod will be called Seven Kingdoms Deliverance." That is a little bit of a dumbness. But it will feature a detailed open world based on the Riverlands during the War of the Five Kings. A ton of content for the mod is already finished. They've said that they're going to finish the Robert's Rebellion update for Attila before fully focusing on the Kingdom Come Deliverance development. But I'm sure we're going to get many more updates coming pretty soon. But I love the fact that it is actually based during the War of the Five Kings. We'll get to see a lot more that we saw in the early days of the show that is now tainted by... But we'll get to play it out ourselves with quest lines and storylines that we'll be able to craft and mold through our gameplay in Seven Kingdoms Deliverance. Looking into some of the screenshot they showed, we can see the bodies of the Battle of the Bastards. Some awesome troops here, some Stark armor, some Stark armor. It all looks amazing. The mod itself is hoping to include all the major factions from Game of Thrones, such as House Stark, Lannister, House Tully, House Frey, even things like House Bracken and Brax, Blackwoods, Stark, Bolton, Glover, House Wentz, the Crackdale, House Lefford, the Brotherhood Without Banners. Oh my god, that's a few. They're all going to be in this mod, and you're going to be able to interact and choose where you go throughout, using these factions and houses in order to shape your journey. Most of them probably having their own keeps and castles, going to war with each other. Now, we have seen from the modding tools that you're able to script quests, AI, basically make them do anything that you could expect from the game itself. So yes, we could get these massive Game of Thrones battles. We could recreate the Battle of the Bastards in this, if enough time and effort is spent on this mod. Now, of course, there's probably no chance that this mod is going to come out anytime soon. It's going to take so much work to be done, but seeing as they've already started work on it last year, they probably have a lot of models and things that they've already created. It's definitely not going to be that starting from scratch type of length, but the modders are hoping to create a main story driven campaign. Now, these ideas came in when they first wanted to create this mod, but they didn't know if the modding tools would let them. But seeing from the tutorials, I've already said, you can do that, creating your own quests and storylines. Now, earlier on, they did say that they wanted to get Schiefer Bates on board with this project. He was an impersonator, so he would be great and an easier way to get all the characters and voice acting done, but it does mean that they're not shying away from this challenge. Getting the whole world of Kingdom Come Deliverance and switching it to Game of Thrones is going to be a big challenge, but it is something that they are definitely looking forward to and getting in doing. But is a Seven Kingdoms Deliverance mod going to be based on the books or the TV show? Well, they're looking to look more into the TV series. Now, this may change since the TV series has finished now, but the weapons and armor will be based mostly on the TV show, as I've said before, and a lot of the characters as well, and how they're really portrayed in the TV show is going to be similar to the modding, as of course there were differences between the books and the TV shows, but they're trying to look into more and basing it away from the books to give it a more cinematic experience and really a wider experience. More people have seen the TV show than read the books at this point, and it needs to be as accessible to as many people as possible. Of course, it will be in the Riverlands, and you'll be able to experience what it was like in the War of the Five Kings. There's no news on where we'll be positioned in terms of rankings in this, whether we'll be a lord at the High Court, whether we'll be just a peasant or a knight in an army. I think this is something that can be changed if they take some ideas from Kingdom Come Deliverance itself and let the player themselves really choose their path and choose their way. Yes, you had the main storyline quest, but the open world was completely up to you. Whether you wanted to be a hunter, a bandit, a knight, an outlaw, it was all really up to you, and I hope they sort of go that same way while having this main storyline, but also having separate ways and choosing how you can really go about the world, but having it in the Game of Thrones universe. We can't really get our hopes up too much yet. Of course, we all want those massive battles, and they may come, and with the modding tools, they're definitely possible, but they have hinted at the possibilities of these big armies. I quote, "Dozens of armies were present in this hotly contested area: Starks, Lannisters, Tully, Bracken, Karstark, along with gangs of bandits and freeriders roaming the countryside, with two warring sides, dangerous no man's land, and civilians caught in the middle between it all. It's a content-rich environment and the ideal location for an open world mod." They're going to be including as many things as humanly possible, but keeping it grounded in the Game of Thrones universe. It's going to give the player the option to live their dreams out, whether it's in the army of the Starks fighting against the Lannisters or being a bandit on the streets. It's going to be your world to shape. This open world is so good for a Game of Thrones total conversion mod, so I can't wait to see what they do with it. I'll be bringing so many updates as it comes out, so make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for this exciting news. But thank you so much for watching. Make sure you leave a like on the video, and until then, I will see you in the next one.